I just had, because I came out here for a smoke, I just have to document the spookiness of where I am. How many times that things are just fucking spooky. And hopefully, I'm pretty sure it's as nondescript as possible that you wouldn't really be able to know where I am. To call people out on things that they may or may not be involved in. But, yeah. This is where I'm spending the night while being hunted by people who I've actually thought could be demons. It's a big, huge, empty field over there, which even during the day gave me a little bit of the creeps. I don't know why. But yeah, maybe I shouldn't be doing this and showing people where I am, because then, so I'll probably upload this tomorrow. But this is where last night when I left at 1 a.m. there's a RV park over there, and as soon as I started to pull out, a vehicle came out. And these towns are super dead early, like super dead. So to have somebody like on the road or whatever, it is unusual. So here's my Isuzu Rodeo. I didn't go over all the things that he didn't care about replacing that are super easy. It could have just been like good faith, be nice to a person. That's out now, which I'm actually going to mention if they can hit on tomorrow, just because it's extremely helpful, actually, surprisingly. Even this, he said he might have a cover for this, but no. I don't know, you know? All I know is I know how these people operate, and if they can find someone that they know here that will screw me over, they will. You know? I just don't know. I don't know how connected they are to this, or what they'll say, or what they'd need to say, if they're the type of people that allow things to be said to make that happen. But yeah, this is where I am. Does this look like a fun place to hang out if you're being psychopathically stalked by people? It was okay when there was someone else staying here last night, even though I'm not 100% sure that I was safe because of the swelling of my fingers and the pain in that arm. But I mean, there are video cameras here, but again, you know, they're not mine. I can't be like, oh, I'm going to review the video camera, you know? So, I mean, you would think in theory no one would want something to happen on their property. No one would, you know, even if they, like, didn't care about what would happen to me. They wouldn't want that to happen, you know? All of the windows were unlocked, which I thought was a little weird. I'm not sure. I can't remember. But, yeah. It's just... I came out here and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Is this really where I'm spending the night? And, like, is this by design? Because this is, like... This is perfect for somebody to do something like I'm saying they're doing. Like, they could literally bring in... If they can handle the video... If they can deal with that... literally, like, they could just drive a whole bunch of people into this fucking parking lot and fill this fucking lot and with a bunch of rapists and hang out and party and do drugs and come in and out of my RV raping me and take my dogs out and put them in their vehicle or take them for a walk or whatever, you know? It's sadly a situation that and they're not the only ones in this building either. So there's people that rent part of this building, and I don't know who they are, and I don't know, you know, whose vehicle this is. And I can't remember if it was parked here yesterday or last night. The feather hanging from the dash thing or whatever, the thing makes me a little uncomfortable, just because it signifies probably Native American stuff, and probably. And they've seemed to found the enjoyment on participating in this. Not, of course, every Native American. Let me clarify. But the gangs, which there are Native American gangs, or Native Americans who sex traffic, drug traffic. I mean, that shouldn't be a stretch of anyone's imagination seeing the amount of prolific drug use in the Native American community, and sadly, a bunch of missing children and women and murdered women in the Native American community. There's just a lot of shady shit that goes on there's in those communities, and I mean that's actually kind of a forewarning for the Native Hawaiians who are so hell-bent on like autonomy and sovereignty, and they murder someone in Hawaii and then they go into court and say I can't be tried in this court because I'm not an American citizen, I'm Hawaiian, you're on my land, blah blah blah. It's like, oh wow, okay, so you can murder people, so then what's your punishment in the Hawaiian community for doing it? What, a slap on the wrist? Depends on who you kill. One of yours. It doesn't even matter, because usually that is the case. And then they try to we're friendly with each other, and they try to they just go into the heads. I mean, I'm telling you that I feel like what's totally under like missed is the amount of manipulation in that community, like of their own people, of other people. Like you can take murder cases where kids, one guy murdered another, one Hawaiian murdered another Hawaiian, and what they do is they go straight to the family and they just start talking, doing their shit, and eventually all of a sudden, the family's forgiving, and they're going to take responsibility and all that. And then in one case recently, yeah, they had it all like, yep, I'm responsible and blah blah blah, and then all of a sudden he just backtracked and was like, I can't be tried, I'm not a US citizen, I'm Hawaiian, and then the other family was like, fuck, what the hell, like you are now not taking responsibility for the murder of our son, and that's not cool, and but that's what happens. That honking of the horn, you can almost guarantee it's weird. You just get a sense of this stuff when you do it for so long, and I know people are going to say, look, she's crazy, like every honk, every this, every that. Yeah, it just is. You have this innate feeling because you live under fight or flight. You're living in a different reality than most people do every day. And people in war zones, people that are under these kind of circumstances, because that's literally what I'm in, is a war zone. Except for I'm the only one on my side. But you develop different senses, and you're honed into different things, and it's just that's the way it is, because your body, you're forced into that situation. So you're forced into this like death, do, die, blah blah blah, like I'm literally sitting here waiting for people to try to come in and rape, sodomize, and torture me. And I don't know if this is a setup. I can't even take off and just go because I don't have heat in my vehicle. I'd have to go straight to a hotel room where it's just actually more comfortable for them than this. Which, this is pretty good for them. I'm not going to lie. A big, huge, empty parking lot shaded from the street. Not bad for them. Last night it was good for me. I thought for a moment with the cameras and with the people, someone else here, but now it feels very good for them. And if you can look around and see what I'm seeing, then yeah, just imagine that this is where I'm at right now, and who's out there and what they want to do to me, and TikTok, TikTok, And how are they going to get the drugs to just keep releasing, and how will they do they have to come to the vehicle to do it? I mean, I've definitely heard them outside the vehicle. The other night when they were trying to gas me in unconsciousness inside, and my animals were fucking dying from it, and I wouldn't go down. Yeah, I heard them. I know what. Yep, I heard them. So there you go. This is where I am. And you're going to think to yourself, well, then how do you, if you're in that circumstance, how do you end up in this situation? Well, I'm being drugged, I can't really think clearly, and my RV won't work. And the other choices are hotels. And I've been raped, sodomized, and tortured, gang raped, sodomized, and tortured in multiple hotels, so they don't feel safe. And because of this situation, I cannot even just sit outside a police station where I'm maybe more safe, maybe not. So, there you go.